California police officers charged with civil rights violations, fraud, and falsifying police reports. Can you believe it? What's up, all my fellow lunatics out there? I'm Rational Lunatic. You heard it correctly. It's not clickbait. It's true. It's blue. It's corruption news, and we're bringing it to you right now. California police officers charged with civil rights violations in FBI corruption probe. Nearly a dozen Northern California police officers were charged Thursday in a federal corruption investigation that found evidence they committed civil rights violations and fraud in an effort to get a pay raise and lied on reports to cover up the use of excessive force, U.S. authorities said. Ismail J. Ramsey, U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of California, filed 4 indictments that outline charges including wire fraud, deprivation of rights under color of law, conspiracy against rights, and conspiracy to distribute anabolic steroids. 9 police officers and 1 community service officer are named in the charges, though only 2 are charged in multiple indictments. The investigation centered on the departments in Antioch and Pittsburgh, 2 cities in the San Francisco Bay Area. Only 3 of the officers remain employed by the departments and were not on active duty, officials said. Suspect much? Arrest warrants were served Thursday in California, Texas, and Hawaii, said Robert Tripp, special agent in charge of the FBI's San Francisco field office. One has not yet been arrested, officials said. Morteza Amiri, Eric Allen Rambo, Patrick Burhan, Samantha Peterson, Brawley Rodriguez Jalapa, and Ernesto Juan Mejia Orozco pleaded not guilty to various charges, and most were released on condition that they posted property bonds, the Bay Area News Group reported. Rambaugh appeared in Oakland federal court dressed in ripped clothes with bloody hands and knees and wearing a shirt that read, "Don't Weaken," the Bay Area News Group reported. I mean, come on. His attorney, Will Edelman, told the judge that there was absolutely no reason that his client had to be taken into custody and handcuffed because he would have willingly appeared if ordered. So it sounds like the FBI roughed him up a little bit, arresting him. Although I don't see even the FBI tackling a police officer unless he's fleeing. So I think his attorney might be full of shit. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Let's see. The defendant could face decades in federal prison if convicted of the charges. Tripp said the arrests were the result of a 2-year investigation. Any breach of the public's trust is absolutely unacceptable, Tripp said, while discussing charges against Antioch officers that include using their official positions as officers to deprive people of their rights. I mean, it sounds like the government's cracking down on their own, but with election coming up, I can only imagine what kind of, picture they're trying to paint of themselves as being a good, trustworthy government, but I don't know. I'm so used to corruption on this channel with all the research I do that it's just hard to believe that, there's that many good cops left out there, but I know there must be. It's just hard to believe. Charges against Amiri Rambaugh and Devin Christopher Wenger say the three Antioch police officers conspired between February 2019 and March of 2022 to injure, oppress, threaten, and intimidate residents of Antioch, California, and later falsified reports about the encounters. In obscenity-laden text messages, the three men referred to some suspects as guerrillas. They laughed and joked about harming people who apparently had surrendered or appeared to be asleep by setting Amiri's police dog on them, or Rambo shooting them with a 40mm less lethal projectile launcher, the indictment said. I mean, come on. It's so disheartening to read some of these stories. In obscenity, let's see. Prosecutors say from 2019 to 2021, the dog bit 28 people, while Rambo used the launcher 11 times in 2020 and 2021. So they were just sicking their wild dogs and cracking people with a little 40mm projectile launcher. I say little, with a little bit of sarcasm there. Prosecutors say from 2019 to 2021. Oh, never mind. Amir posted graphic photos of the dog wounds, and Rambo said he was keeping the projectiles to make a trophy flag, according to the indictment. I mean, what a real piece of shit. In one case, a man suspected of 5 armed robberies had given up and was lying on the ground when Amiri's canine bit him, the indictment alleged. In one text, Amiri wrote, "Let's F obscenity, let's F word some people up next work week." Amiri said that he will find some action and write up the police report, adding, "Just come over and crush some skulls." In one 2020 text sequence, Amiri said that he confronted a transient he believed had stolen his mail and dragged him to the back of a car to discuss the matter. LOL, putting a pistol in someone's mouth and telling them to stop stealing isn't illegal, he texted. It's an act of public service to prevent further victims of crimes. Yeah. Let's see how you'd feel if someone put a pistol in one of your family members' mouths and told them to stop breaking the law or stop, causing some tomfoolery out there, you piece of... Anyway, defendants authored police reports contained false and misleading statements to suggest that the force they used was necessary and justifiable. The indictment said, in truth and in fact, and as the defendants well knew, defendants willfully used excessive force in numerous incidents, including those identified in the indictment. Police unions did not immediately respond to requests for information on whether the defendants had lawyers who can speak on their behalf. Emails to the Pittsburgh and Antioch police departments seeking comment were not immediately returned. Thousands of incendiary text messages by more than a dozen officers in the Antioch Police Department had previously come to light and led to a federal lawsuit. The text contained derogatory, racist, homophobic, and sexually explicit languages. And now, before you think this is a bunch of, white cops pushing their power around, if you noticed some of those names, a lot of those names were actually Hispanic. So this is a case of just police being corrupt in general, not one race picking on another. It's it's the police treating themselves like they're their own race against the rest of us, and using, derogatory words against certain minorities that I'm sure they weren't using against, their own, whatever their nationality was at that time, whoever they were busting, but I'm, using against the other nationalities that they were arresting that were, different than them. Um, but that's just how corrupt cops roll. They're their own gang unit. If there's 10 of them rolling together, they don't see themselves a different color. They just see themselves as bigger, better, and more powerful than you and myself. The text contained. Oh wait, let's see. Explicit language. In some of them, the officers bragged about making up evidence and beating up suspects. They freely used racial slurs and made light of the police killing of George Floyd in 2020. The city of Antioch, with about 115,000 residents, 45 miles east of San Francisco, was once predominantly white, but has diversified in the last 30 years. Federal and state prosecutors have dropped or dismissed dozens of cases that relied on the impugned officers, and the city now faces a federal civil rights lawsuit over the text messages. So there you go. You got, prosecutors looking out for their own and not following through with charges that they should definitely be following through with. Jalapa, Maggio Orozco, and Amanda Carmela Theodosi Nash, Jesus Christ, as well as Antioch Community Service Officer Peterson, were charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and wire fraud surrounding allegations they had other people take and complete online university courses towards a criminal justice degree. The police departments offered reimbursement for college tuition and pay raises for those who graduated college. College prosecutors said. Okay, so basically, if they completed certain classes of, within the criminal justice field, they got bonuses and pay raises. And from the sounds of it, what they were doing was they were having people they knew, take those courses, under their names without them actually doing it themselves, and falsifying, college documents so they could get, the bonuses and raises, and probably cut their family members in on it, whoever family members, friends, whoever they got to take the classes for them. 2 Antioch officers, Daniel Harris and Wenger, were charged with several counts related to distributing anabolic steroids. Because if, when that gun's not powerful enough, you gotta have some man guns to go with it. Another Antioch officer, Timothy Manley Williams, faces charges related to the obstruction of a federal investigation for allegedly using a personal cell phone in 2021 to talk to the target of an FBI wiretap investigation, and then made sure the call wasn't recorded or accurately logged. Today is a dark day in our city's history, as people trusted to uphold the law allegedly breached that trust and were arrested by the FBI, Antioch Mayor Lamar Thorpe said in a statement. As our city absorbs this tragic news, we must come together as one. Today's actions are the beginning of the end of a long and arduous process. Thorpe is among 3 black progressive members of the 5-person council who have said they are committed to holding police accountable, especially during election time, wouldn't you think? To those that have accused me and others of being anti-police for seeking to reform the Antioch Police Department, today's arrests are demonstrative of the issues that have plagued the Antioch Police Department for decades, he added. And there you have it. I mean, it's just one more story of some, really qualified pieces of shit who carry a badge and, a nice shiny gun to go with it. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to know what y'all think. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I really am trying to build this channel. I will be trying to at least bring you 2 to 3 videos a week. And with that, I hope you all are having a good day. And, try to keep clear of them motherfucking cops. Peace.